biggest question that we're going to run across as far as ethical considerations for unmanned air systems is going to be whether the FAA has the complete preemption of the field of aviation. Can you imagine if all these drones are going to start flying above the 400 feet with waivers, doing it the right way? And if you and your company are going to do those things, what is your ethical obligation to make sure that you understand those airspaces? From the ethics perspective, you can't just think about the FAA regulations. Make sure that you're paying attention to the local regulations, if there are any, and then, unfortunately, gonna have to go ask your lawyer who deals with your unmanned air systems as to whether or not the preemption of the federal government matches up with what your specific intent is for use of your drone. So what ethically do you tell everybody that you're advising as clients? Well, I would tell you to know every single local, state, federal regulation run by your SOPs, run by your internal policies. Have your insurance policies looked at. The people that are going to fly it, confirm everybody's up to date. You've got a whole lot of questions that you have to ask yourself to see if you can't mind meld and mesh together the ethical consideration of what you're doing or what your businesses are doing when flying the drone. What does the federal government really have if there is an implied complete field that says aviation is a federal issue? I was talking to Kelly earlier and I said the biggest thing that really also amazes me is we have this fine line probably in what your businesses do and from a commercial use or just plain old recreational use. And the fact that we're talking about Part 333 or 107 or Orlando regulation, and none of it applies to little Johnny going out in the front yard and using your aircraft that's registered to your company that generally is used to inspect the roof or whatever it's used for, and flies it around and gets yourself in an accident. Big ethical question, right? What are we going to allow the uses for? And just because the executive vice president of the company decides to bring it home so that his son can fly it around who's 13, and I use 13 because my son is 13 and he doesn't listen to a darn thing I say, what is that problem or what can be created? You really need enforcement of the ethical consideration when using your aircraft system that's registered to you.